Hello, everyone. So today we're going to do Lab 2, which is about picking an avatar, importing it into Unity, picking some animations, and having your avatar do some simple animations in Unity. So I just wanted to show you a quick demo. So let me get access to the play button here. So for example, here you can see I have an avatar that I chose. She just did capoeira and now she's sending a fax, which is so, I don't know, 1990s or something. But there she is, and now she's just finished her animation. So we're just going to show you how to do that today. So let me go ahead and create a new project. So you want to create, so you can just go ahead and open up Unity Hub, create new, and then let's call it Lab 2. You'll want it to be 3D. And while that's being created, so on Canvas, I'm going to provide you with a link to Mixamo, which is the website where we're going to get our characters and our animations. So you'll want to go to this website and you'll want to just create a free account. Now, just to show you a little bit about it, so you have characters, like a lot of different characters, and there's some more pages you can scroll through as well. And then you can also have all these animations that you can pick from for each of your characters. So for the purposes of the lab, we're just going to pick one character of your choice. I'll use this character, but please feel free to use another character that you like. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to download the character as is without any animations first. So once you've selected your character, go to download, and you're going to want FBX for Unity. So that's the format that you want for your file. So it's FBX for Unity. And you want a T-pose, just a generic T-pose. Obviously, it's going to be animated eventually. So you want to go ahead and download that. What I recommend that you do is create a folder called Unity Characters and just put all your characters and animations in there. That's something that I do. So you can see here it's downloading. And then you'll also want to pick 2 animations for your lab. So you can go ahead and pick any of these that you would like. Now, let's start with the first one. So here, when you click on it, you'll be able to see what the animation looks like. You can adjust some things here, for example, for this particular animation, like the posture, the step width, and so forth. And whenever you're happy to do it, so then you click on download. Now, a few things. Make sure your format is FBX for Unity, and we want it without skin. And then you don't have to adjust the frames per second or the keyframe reduction. So you want to go ahead and download that. And then you want to pick one other animation as well. So you can go ahead and do that. And just make sure that you pick FBX for Unity and without skin as you download that. And just download your second animation as well. So you'll end up with 3 files, your character and 2 animations. So let's go back to Unity here. So what we want to do is go ahead first of all, and once you've downloaded those 3 files, we're going to put them into your assets folder here in Unity. So for example, here I'm going to put in my character. So I'll just show you here. So this is the character that I imported with the T-pose. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop her into my scene. Now you'll see that so you can zoom in. So remember, you can do that with your mouse with the central wheel. You can see that it doesn't have the materials and textures and so forth. So we're just going to sort that out. So click on your character under assets, and then here under your inspector, go ahead and click on materials. Now, go ahead and click on extract textures, and here you'll want to create a new folder. So right click, new folder, and just call it materials. And then we want to select this folder. And then you'll see a window pop up in just a moment. There it is. It says fix now or ignore. You want to say fix now. So you can see most of the materials have appeared here. I'll just show you one more step in case some of them don't fully appear. You'll want to go to extract materials and then just click on the materials folder you just created. And there we are. Here we go. Great. Now, we're also going to, we have our character. We're also going to go ahead and drag and drop the two animation files. So I have Capoeira using a fax machine, but please, by all means, feel free to use better ones. So if you click on, for example, the first one, which is a Capoeira in the assets folder, and go to animation, you can see at the bottom here, if you press play, you can see your Capoeira and animation there being played for you. So you can just pause that. Now, there's a few things I want to show you before we animate our avatar. So first of all, when you're doing the animations, it's nice to be able to do a different layout. So if you go to the top right-hand corner, you can see this drop-down menu called Layout. Now, we're in default right now. By the way, if you ever go into a layout you don't like, you can always come back here and go to default, which will take you back here. But let's do 2 by 3 right now. Now, that before we do the animations, there's a few little things I just want to show you here. Now, this is the scene view. This is the view of the camera at the where it says game. So when it press play, this is what you'll see. And right now, our avatar is floating around in midair. So we want to sort that out first. So, so let's go. If we click down here into our hierarchy, into sample scene, and I'm going to save this because it wasn't saved, you'll see that we can see our main camera, here's our character, and here's our directional light that we saw last time, as we saw before. So I'm going to click on my character, and so you can see here that, remember when we clicked under transform, when we went to reset, we can reset her to 0, 0, 0, or you could have just brought her down to 0, just so that she's just standing on the ground. Now she's got our back to us. Now there's a couple of things we can do here so that we actually looking at her from the front. Now, one of the things I want to show you is, I'll show you one way and then I'll show you another way. So the first way is we can actually go ahead and move the camera. So here's our camera. So if we, we're going to move our camera, if we move it in front of her, and then we want to rotate our camera. So remember, we can click on the rotate tool here, and we're going to rotate around the Y axis, right? Because remember, this is the Y axis, it's going up like this. So if actually, probably the best way, let me set this back to 0, is just to say 180 here in the Y. So we rotate around the Y axis 180 degrees. So now we're facing her. The other thing I want to do is just pull down slightly over the X axis so we can just get, so you can see here the red line is for the X axis, just so we can get rotating around the X axis so we can get a better view. I also want to pull the camera up just a little, and then I want to rotate just a little bit more. So you can play around with the camera like this if you want to get a better view. And with the light, I also want to move the light around a bit. So I'm going to actually, let's see, let's move our light. Let's move it. Trying to get, over here. Let's move our light like this. And I actually want to rotate the light. So you can see here, she's going to get a bit more light, and you can play around with it and find some angles that you're happy with, so that you can get some good lighting if you want to. Now, that's all well and good, but there's one other thing I wanted to show you, which is a little trick. If you actually zoom into the view that you want to have of the avatar, and then you click on the main camera in the sample scene, and then click on game object, and then align with view, then the position of the camera will actually align to the view that you have. So that's just a shortcut if you don't want to do all the moving around and things like that. But, I just, encourage you to play around and discover ways that work best for you. So that was just a little bit of Unity fiddling around. But so let's go back to our animation. So here are 2 animation files in our assets folder. Now we want to go to Window and go to Animation and then Animator. So that's going to open up this animator window. So you'll see here that I have 2 tabs now on the left, Scene and Animator, that I can move between. Then I want to go back to this Assets folder and right-click, go to Create, and go to Animator Controller here. So this will create this animator controller, which we can rename. So we can call it maybe Annie Hunt, for example. And then you can see here in our animator window, you'll see some states appear. Okay, so we'll come back to that in just a moment, but we have to do one more step. So if we click on our character here, we need to go and click on Add Component and then search for Animator. So we don't want animation, we want Animator. So if you click on that, it will come up. I'll just do that really quick. So if you type in the search, it will appear there. And so we want Animator. Now you can see under the Animator component that we have something called Controller and we have something called Avatar. Now this part is really important. We need to drag and drop the Annie Cont, the animation controller that you just created, into the controller part of this component under Animator. So if that's not clear, you can just go back a little bit in the video and just do it again, because this is what's going to connect this animator with this avatar. Okay, so now we're ready to drag and drop our animations into this window. So let's start with the capoeira. So under Assets, go and drag and drop the capoeira here, and we can zoom in a bit. Now you can see here that when you drag and drop your first animation, you immediately get this transition line from the start to this animation. So if I play this just as a test, you'll be able to see as soon as we start, she's going to start with her capoeira animation and then it stops. So I'm going to stop this play here. Now I'm going to drag and drop the second animation into this window, which is using a fax machine. And now you can see this is gray right now. So what we need to do is right click on the state that you want to make a transition from. So we say make transition on capoeira, and then we click on using a fax machine. So now if we play that, we can see her doing her capoeira, and then she's going and sending a fax, which makes so much sense, but yes. So there you have it. It's and if you want to, you can watch it being played out here, and then she's going to stop, or you can go back to your scene window or go back to your animator. But that's really about it. So you can see it's actually not too bad. So we're doing this lab so that for your final project, we start getting you thinking about what avatars you want and adding some simple animations in for them. And then next lab, we'll look at actually moving your avatars around the virtual environment and so forth. So hope you enjoy that. Just play around with that a little bit. Feel free to add in a second avatar if you wish. But I think it's good just to get a bit solid and understand how it works. And also, one more thing, with Mixamo here, you can actually search for things like, I guess they have these categories as well. But for example, if I wanted to search for idle, it has all these different animations for idle, for example. And if you want to get rid of an animation you selected, and you can just click on this X bar and it'll take you back to your character. Okay, well, have fun with that. And I'll see you in class.